So we're finished, and I'm going to read some Wikipedia. So the North American F-86 Sabre, or Sabre, was made between 1949 to 1956, and almost 10,000 of them were made. It had a length of 11.3 meters and a wingspan of 11.9, and it could go 1,106 kilometers per hour. So it was a transonic fighter interceptor bomber. It was the United States' first swept-wing design, and it was really the first one that was able to take on the Russian MiG-15 or the Soviet MiG-15. It was primarily, known for being in the Korean War fighting those MiG-15s. It was also the first airplane to take advantage of the research data that America seized from the Germans of World War II. So, World War II, the Germans created the MA-262, which was the first fighter jet, combat fighter jet, and that also had swept wings. So, basically you could reduce drag with the swept wing and still have, decent, I guess, takeoff, slower speed takeoff and landing, I guess. I'm not an aerodynamicist, by the way. So you'll see there's three like ovals or slots on the side of in front of the cockpit. So this thing has 650 cal machine guns, but later on they switched over to 4 20mm cannons. All right. So you notice a lot of the images, they're very shiny, but this one's quite matte. So I went with a matte finish on mine just because I think airplanes would get dirty very easily and wouldn't look like sports cars. But that's just my personal thing. Let's look into the packaging this a little bit, because this is a totally custom livery of my own fascination, not of reality. Because I bought this model kit of the Japanese Blue Impulse, but I don't want to have a Japanese Blue Impulse. This is an American airplane known for the Korean War. This is a more modern, version of the airplane flying by Japan. So that's what the kit's supposed to end up looking like, but I just didn't want that, so I just took a bunch of old decals. I did take a few decals from this thing, so here's the decal sheet. The ejection triangles, I don't even know what was there, and then two of the number sets here. So I also customized this quite a bit. So let's just look at the instructions here first. There's no actual major problems putting this together. It's just a little bit weird. The intake, this is painted black, but the intake, this panel is so close to the front that it just looked weird, so I modified that, you'll see. Also, this canopy doesn't really fit the panels, the eggshell structure here very well. It's almost like it was designed by a different person. Other than that, no major problems. Okay, so yeah, I totally ignored that because I just wanted to have something more like an old American airplane than a Japanese version. So let's see. So I also drilled out a 2mm hole here because I'm going to put it on a flight stand. Alright, so there's Vallejo paints on this thing. It's, I believe, primer first, and then silver, and then a clear coat of Vallejo, and then I rattle canned it with some matte clear coat, because the matte varnish from Vallejo isn't very matte, but rattle can is. This landing gear is literally part of the shell, so you have to paint it after the tire, that is. These are separate pieces, but yeah, those are fine. So anyways, here you would see this would be all flat, but I took a wheel from an old RC car and I just jammed it in there with some UV glue. It's not perfectly done, of course, but yeah, this line I'm touching, I believe, is where that panel was before, so it's just so close that it looked weird. So I wanted the engine to be all inset, so that's what that wheel is supposed to represent, some sort of intake. It's not quite realistic, of course, it's a car wheel. I also drilled out the machine gun holes, so yeah, those are literally holes. This is like a titanium paint color I added. Alright, so yeah, this is all made up. It's a bunch of different decals from a bunch of different airplane model kits, and still works. This is from a different model kit. I don't remember which one it belonged to. It's just put the name here. This pilot is also from a different Hasegawa model kit. So I don't know even what model kit it came from, but it fits here, and I might have to put it back in the other one it belongs to when I figure out where it belongs. I removed the seat entirely. This thing doesn't come with a figure, unfortunately. So I had to remove the seat in order to fit that other Hasegawa character in there. So, yeah, okay. And then, yeah, you can see the gappiness in the back, and in particular the gappiness in the front. And it was even worse. I actually shaved off the inside corners so it would fit more flush. But even so, look, it was like designed by someone else. It's really strange. This is really lame also. I don't know why this is so shallow, right? I guess I gotta go add some more black paint. I feel like they could have had this wall far more in, or molded in something that looks like a tube, so it looks like an exhaust, or even better, something that looks like a turbine, right? But yeah, I feel like whoever made the CAD model of this was doing it on a Friday afternoon and had a nice weekend arranged with a significant other and just wanted to get out of work that day. Um, as common with all these egg planes, they're literally going for the smoothness of an egg with very little panel details, right? Luckily, you have the air brakes here, but there's no other panel gaps, right? Other than the machine gun. But they have plenty on the wings in the tail fin there, so it's strange that they would just skip it all here when they could have easily added and had no change to the cost of the model, right? But I guess they're called egg planes for a reason. And also, it's obviously not. It's quite easy to tip backwards because the landing gear is so, close. So it would do even worse. But I added some weight here with adding that wheel and some glue in there. But maybe they could have designed it so I don't know. Maybe. Just if you wanted to not do this while you're building it, you might want to put like a piece of something heavy inside of the shell on the front half, so it'll always be heavier on the front. So just one comparison today, its predecessor. So at the beginning of the Vietnam War, the P-51 Mustang was still being used. So this is by Hasegawa, and this is kit number TH7. I don't know what kit number this is, unfortunately, but I like the deformation of this one, much shorter wings, and also they have a cartoon pilot included in the kit. So this is actually an ace, fighter ace from the Pacific Theater. So it's much better. The wingspan of this is a little over 12 centimeters, and this one is just much more narrow. But they both look eggy, right? And this cockpit fits a lot better. So whoever modeled this one did a much better job, I think. And also, look at the panel details, right? So it's strange that, the same company are putting out like two different products in the same line, right? Whoever modeled this, you did a great job if you ever run into this video. Whoever modeled this, you slacked off. It's a real shame because this is like the first fighter jet for the Americans in its historic value, I think. Alright, well, anyways, we gotta move on. Hopefully maybe someone other brand will take this on and do it, like Freedom, or I'd like to see Tiger model do it because they're the best, I think, of the deformed airplane model kit companies. Alright, well, anyways, still pretty neat. Yeah, you don't have to make a Japanese version. Nothing against that plane, but I grew up in the West, so I expect it to be this way. Thanks for watching. We'll see you the next time I do an egg plane. Bye.